These are all really tough acts to follow, so you'll have to forgive me that I'm not going to wing it, because I wing it, I feel, every day in a lot of ways. But it's actually interesting. Before I got into this work, I was sort of at a crossroads, and I thought I was going to go into the creative field, and writing is something I've always loved doing. I very much do it for myself, and I haven't done it in a long time because it's a practice. And so I wrote some things, and I'm going to share them with you. There's one question, 4 words, that at once make me stunningly disoriented, sometimes quick to anger, mostly confusion. Where are you from? A common microaggression for many, a benign question for some, an expression of curiosity at my ethnically ambiguous face. It's disorienting and unsettling for me, however, because I truly do not know which appropriate answer to give, you see. Because I come from a long lineage of wanderers, travelers, opportunists, migrants. Am I from the place of my birth, the place where my earliest memories were formed, being woken up before dawn to huddle, exposed many meters above the ground on the elevated platform, waiting for an early morning train in the depths of Chicago's cruel winters? The place where such riches were so concentrated, they called the part of town the Gold Coast, where the Magnificent Mile is where my mother and I would go to her day job at a hotel restaurant, where the housekeepers, doubling as my daycare providers, moved me from room to room while my mother hustled to bring home a consistent paycheck. You see, my roots are spread amongst a vast landscape of time, place, and circumstance. My father, rootless himself as he came of age in exurbs and small towns through the South and Midwest, decided that going to war in a foreign country would be preferable to the sort of misery he was experiencing at home. My mother, born in Taiwan to nationalists fleeing the war in her home country of China, experienced the disorientation of being a foreigner in a familiar land. Together, they try to root us in a city so brawling and fierce that surely resilient people like ourselves could call it home. Am I from the countless summer months spent in Taiwan with my cousins, where, no joke, I went to my first American baseball game and watched Mulan redubbed in Mandarin in a movie theater? Talk about a totally disorienting experience. Am I from the private schools where Tiffany charm bracelets and sparkling gemstone studs accessorized the uniforms which were supposed to make us all appear the same, yet my classmates were gifted shiny cars for their 16th birthday, and I just had a flimsy bus pass? Or am I from the block where we all shared the fragrant spices of our dinners and cacophony of our lives, seemingly publicly, stacked on top of each other with windows open in the sweltering, humid heat? Am I from the richness of 2 unique cultures blended together, or am I from the deficit of missing the cultural markers of pop music and television shows that my peers reference like inside jokes? I'm all that and more. But just as important as where I'm from is where I am now. Although I'm from a long line of travelers, wanderers, opportunists, and migrants, I'm putting my roots down here. Discovering the environmental justice movement, for me, is like a homecoming. When I'm in community, when I'm organizing, when I'm raising my voice alongside people I truly come to see as brothers and sisters in the struggle for dignity and justice for all, this is where I'm from.